sure they are well arranged for analytical purposes. And what do we mean by analytical purposes? Analytical purpose is basically in the sense that it allows us to, know where we are going. For example, if you take it to a business sense, it allows the business to keep track of their revenue. It allows the business to keep track of their sales, their losses made in a particular period of time. It allows them to basically um, have an idea of how they are doing, how well they are progressing in terms of their competitors. So that's just it analysis. And now I'll be talking about, let me go back to the slides. What Excel is used for, we've talked about that. Data entry in Excel. So to do that, I'm going to be sharing my Excel screen, which will also include my Excel interface. So when you open an Excel, Microsoft Excel, I believe you have it on your laptop. Do you have Excel on your laptop?
I believe so. I have the office, but pretty dated. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to share my Excel screen right now. All right. So this is how Excel looks like. So when you just open the Excel file, this is how it looks like. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to be presented with this template. So this is a blank workbook. So if you want to store your informations, all the key details about the particular items or entities you've been able to gather, this is where you click on to store them. Blank workbook. And then if you want to go for a tutorial, an Excel tutorial, for example, you want to learn about pie charts or Power Query, you want to take a tour basically on how Excel looks like, what it does, you click on this particular scenario. And if you want to understand formulas and functions in Excel, understand what pivot tables are, these are where you can go to. So we'll be covering all this part as well, but first we are going to cover what is called data entry in Excel. So I'm going to click on blank worksheet. Okay. Now, what is data entry? Data entry is basically a scenario whereby you try to input all those informations you've gathered inside an Excel file. So you've been able to gather all the information about the customers in a particular company. You've been able to you've been given access to the company's informations. Now, what you want to do next is to make sure the informations are well stored, well organized, and well structured. And that is what you use Excel. That is where Excel comes into play. So I'm going to be using a particular business scenario. Okay, so I'm going to be using uh, this. Okay, um, come in. Okay, yeah. So trying to dig up the example so I can uh, you know um, use it. Okay.
Are you trying to type in a function? Help me understand what exactly your plan is here.
So I'm trying to type in a sample data that I'll be using. So but I'm trying to dig up a meaningful one that can be able to relate with. So almost done. All right. So I'm going back to my Excel. So let's say, for example, we want to determine the total revenue made on our cookies. So we have various type of cookies. We have the chocolate chip, we have the oatmeal rising, we have the sugar cookie, and then what you want to determine, we have the revenue, we have the costs, we have the profits, we have the tax, right? And we have the profit split. Okay, sorry. Then let's say we made let's say $20 from this chocolate chips. Let's say we made $30, and sugar cookie. Let's say we made $40. So these are all the information that the company has given us access to, and then we want to insert it in Excel to make sure it is well organized and well detailed for us to be able to conduct our analysis with it. Now the cost, let's say we made $4 on chocolate chips, oatmeal rising. Let's say we made $6. Then sugar cookie. Um, let's say we made okay $5, and then this section should be totals, right? And then yeah, let's leave it that way for now. And we made a profit of, let's say um, um, so we can make it 16, and oatmeal rising should be 24. Use just a sample, basically this can be 30. All right, so this is basically a brief intro about data entry in Excel, and then we can then do some editing to make sure it is in dollars or depending on what currency is. So I'm just assuming that this particular company is located in the United States. So to do that, I'm going to right click, then okay. Um, you can't see that section, so I'm going to share my entire screen so that section can be visible to you, and I'll do that right now. So all right, so so I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to click on format cells.
I can't see your
Okay.
screen.
Uh,
I can't see neither one of your screens.
okay, I'm coming. Can you see my Excel file? My Excel workbook, sorry.
No, I can't see nothing on your screen. It's just a logo.
Okay. How about now? Still nothing. Okay, then no.
Nothing.
All right. How about now? Can you see my screen?
No.
Okay, let's post up. Can you? Yeah, should be able to see my screen now. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it now.
So you're going to right click, and then you click on Format Cells, and then you're going to click on the currency, and then you click on OK. So you can see the sign as reflect.
You do it again?
Okay, okay,
Can
okay,
you do it
okay.
again? Can you undo it
So
and do it
you're
again?
going to highlight the cells like this, and then you right click
Mm-hmm.
on your mouse or whatever you are using,
Mm-hmm.
and then you click on Format Cells. You might probably want to jot this down as well, just in case. Depend. And then when you right click on it, then you click on currency. Can you see this process I'm working on?
No. I know that I can't see whenever you right click, it didn't change.
Okay, let me do
I can
something
see
real
your
quick
drop menu
to
whenever
make
you right
sure
click.
it's reflects. I'm going to that's what I'm trying to work on basically. I also noticed that, and trying to share my whole entire screen, but somehow um, I'm not able to see it. So I'm doing that again now. And then I'm moving to my Excel file. Okay, can you see my screen now? Yeah, can you see my Excel file? Okay, so when I right click on it, I'm going to click
Yes.
on Format Cells, and then I'm going to click on Currency,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to, because the default symbol is in dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want other currency symbols, basically you can scroll down, and then you get whatever currency you want. So, but for now we are working with dollars, and then we are going to
Right.
click on. I'm going to leave it like that basically, and then you click on OK, and then Oatmeal Rising as well. We will do the same, and you click on Format Cells, right? And then click on Currency, and then click on OK. We'll do the same for
Currency.
Sugar Cookie as well. Um, Click on Format Cells, then click on Currency, and then click on OK. And then we'll talk about the formulas and function in Excel. So basically, formulas and function perform the same thing basically. The only difference is that the way they are written. Formulas basically performs this operation manually in the sense that you will need to manually insert the arithmetic sign or arithmetic symbol. For example, let's say you want to calculate the total revenue the company made on all these cookies. You will just basically do equals to, and then you will start typing it manually. Plus B2, C2, sorry, plus D2. And knowing fully well that B1, B2, sorry, is basically the bit colon second row. That's why it is called B2. Same goes for C2. It is C colon second row, and D2 as well is the D column and second row. So when you're done, you just press enter and you get a total of $90. And you do the same for cost, do the same for profit. But it's basically a waste of time when you can just drag it like this, and it's going to calculate it automatically. It's called filling down in Excel. So, and when you double click filling down, filling,
It's called
yes,
what?
basically filling down in Excel.
Filling down.
And when you double click on each particular calculation, you're going to get the formula written. As you can see, B3, C3, D3. Do the same for this. So, basically, you can do it using function. There are various ways in which you can do it actually. Then you can do it using the function as well. Then you can just do equals to sum, and you open a bracket, and then you click on this. You press Ctrl key and then click on each of your block and press enter. You get same $90. Or you might
Mm.
want to press this particular key and you click on sum and you click on OK. Then it's going to allow you to select your range, and my range is from B3 to E3 basically. So like I said, chocolate rising, oatmeal rising, sugar cookie. Sorry, not E3, P3 to D3, because I'm not working. We don't want to close the total, as we'll be getting inaccurate value. So click on OK. So you get the same value, same with the total of $15. So whatever one that is much more easier for you to update. Okay. All right.
Hold on. Stop. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. My leg hurt. Snap.
So okay, yeah. So
All right,
whenever
you can go ahead.
whatever one that is most convenient for you,
You continue, Sam.
and you click on OK, and they will do the same for profit as. Yeah, and it's more professional basically.
Which one makes the most sense
It
to do
sounds
the
it looks
to
more
do the drop down,
professional
the pull down,
because
right? That
whenever,
makes the
for
most
example, you're
sense.
given a large data set, you don't want to calculate it manually. They will take you as an amateur, so you might want to do the filling down, and then you get your data profit or whatever it is you're calculating. Yeah, exactly. It does
But
automatically recognize
put the
it
once you
and
put the
then allows you
formula in
to
the first
work
cell,
with
you can
it.
do the drop down, right?
It could go side as well. It can go side. Okay. Now let's say, for example,
Would
I'm
it
going
only
to,
be able to
I'm going
go
to
down? It couldn't
delete all
go
this
in the
uh,
next.
profit. And as we all know, that profit is basically calculated by subtracting the cost from the revenue. So I'm going to do equals to this minus this, right? I'm going to, okay. Sorry, I made a mistake. Uh, then I'm going to do the same for the side, and I'm going to get, okay, yeah, I'm going to get a total. As you can see, 30 minus 6 is 24. 40 minus 5 is $35. $90 minus $15 is close to $75. So it also works upward as well. So it is not necessarily filling down as well. This one basically is called filling right. It is called filling. Exactly. Exactly.
Just filling
So
filling is the
another
concept though.
mathematical
Filling is just
function
the
that we
concept
can
of
work
dragging
with,
the whole thing
like we've done,
in a
we've done
direction, right?
the addition function, basically the sum function, the minus function, is the minimum function, and the large function. So to make everything make sense, I'm going to write the functions that I'll be working with, mathematical functions, right? And I want to highlight it just in case. Then, right. So I'm working with the sum function. We've done it actually. The average function, the mean function, the median function, um, the mode function, as well as what else? Large function, round function. Then, okay, I'm also going to be saying the practical scenario that each and every one of them, works with. The sum function basically allows us to know the total number of the particular entity, total number of people living in a particular country, total number of people in doing something, basically the total. Count function as well allows us to know the total, but they work in two different cases. Count function in its own allows us to count the total number of, for example, total number of cookies. But the sum function basically allows us to calculate the arithmetic total, the summation. Then the average function allows us to calculate the average number of a particular scenario. Now, average and sum sometimes are used interchangeably. Um, I'm just saying this just in case you start working for a particular company. Average and sum are both used for a means of measurements, and in most cases, people prefer to use average as a means of comparison. For example, let's say you want to test for the total revenue made across two entities. You might want to use the average, for example, average revenue made on chocolate chips and the average revenue made on oatmeal rising, and then you want to compare the two averages to know the ones that is most effective. And is also used for if you want to do some advanced statistics like inflation statistics. If you cannot be like if you don't have the whole population at hand and you don't want to spend much amount of money for you to be able to get the average number of revenue, and you don't want to spend so much, then use the sample and everything. But that one is advanced basically. So I'm just saying it that sometimes some people use average as a means of comparison, while some people use the total sum as a means of comparison. Both works as well. And yeah, all right. So to calculate the sum, I've done this actually, so I don't think I need to redo it. So to calculate the average, okay, to calculate the average revenue made across these three,
Okay.
I'm going to do this in three ways. I'm going to use the okay, I'm going to do it in two ways. Sorry, I'm going to use the function. I'm going to use the using this particular button. So those are the two ways I'm going to do. Yeah, exactly, FX button. So I'm going to start with the function. I'm going to write equals to average, and then I'm going to click on my control key and
The
keep on
FX button.
highlighting, right? And I'm going to click on enter when I'm done. So the average profit made, sorry, the average revenue made is $30, right? And then I can do the same for okay, yeah. All right, so okay, I'm going to write equals to, yeah, exactly. I wrote average, and then I opened my
My fault. My fault.
brackets,
But
but it's called
I was writing
parentheses.
down. Can you do that again? Can
It's
you
called
undo and just do it
parentheses.
again for me?
So I open my parentheses.
Oh, you just wrote average. Oh,
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I didn't realize that the
Okay.
equation was
So I'm going to
already
highlight
embedded
my
in
revenue.
Excel. That I forgot
Sorry,
about the
articulate chip.
keywords that could just launch the equation.
Oatmeal rising.
You get me?
And another thing I want us to notice is as we are highlighting, you could see a
Okay.
comma. So after you highlighted
You
chocolate
continue.
chip, you could see a comma. So for example, if you want to do this manually without highlighting using the control key, you will know that you have to include a comma whenever you want to start highlighting your particular cells or particular block, and then you click on the sugar cookie as well, and then click on OK. So $30, and then second procedure I said I was going to work on, which is the clicking on this FX key. So you can see a lot of functions, and you can also select from the most recent used category, and then there are various functions and formulas in Excel, thousands of them basically based on some category. You have the statistical category, we have the date and time. We'll get into this particular place as well. We have the math and trick, you have the lookup and the references, and then you have the engineering. I never knew that as well actually, and a lot basically. But we're working with the average function, right? And then we want to click on OK. Then you are going to have a pop-up, and it's going to tell us the cells that I want to work on. So I'm going to just click on the control key, and then we're working on the revenue, right? I'm going to click on this, and this, and then I'll click on OK. So you can say $30. Everything is correct, and the average and mean are basically the same thing. I don't need to work on this, although you can let's run a function. So I'm going to delete this particular cell. So to delete a particular row, you just highlight the particular row and right click and click on delete. So, and we move to the median as well. Median basically has to do with the median number, right? So it goes to median. So returns the median in the number in the median number of the set of given numbers. So you can also click on this. And if you are unclear about what a particular function does, you can I hover your mouse around it and then click on this. It's going to bring out the help section. Wait while it loads. And so basically, it said this article describes the fundamental syntax and usage of median function in Excel, and then it gives us some scenarios at which it is used for. So it returns the median of a given number. The median is the number in the middle of a set of numbers. Um, then it gives us some practical scenarios, and then so okay. So I'm trying to relate it with this particular cookies company, so you can basically understand when to use it. Okay, so I'm currently thinking about that.
Mm.
Okay, so the median basically is when you want to like you want to check the median number, or like you want to check the number without the particular number that doesn't affect some particular entity, or isn't influenced by some particular entities. So to do that, I'm just going to write the median, right? And then we highlight our cells, right? And then click on OK. So the median is $30. As you can see, there are three numbers, and if calculated statistically, n plus 1 over 2, that's 3 plus 1 divided by 2, that's 4 over 2, which is the second number. All right. And then the mode. So the mode basically is number that occur the most frequently. So let's say, for example, I have a value of $20. Okay, um, $20, and let's say I have $30, right? And I want to calculate the mode. So this allows us to know the numbers that occur most frequently. And for example, in a practical scenario, it can allow us to know the particular for example, in the student's details, allows us to know which particular score the students are getting, what particular amount of money our customers are spending in our company, in the employment, in the population census scenario, it allows us to know how many countries or how many states are we doing this particular population region. All right. So I'm going to so equals to mode, right? Then click on this, click on this, and click on this as well. Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. This one is but not available because the three of them occurred just once, and that was not my intention. I was practically carried away. So equals to mode. Okay, yeah. Then I'll click on this, and this. So the mode is $20, indicating that majority of the revenues earned, I'm using revenue as an example for in this particular scenario. Majority of the
B6,
revenues earned by
B6,
the
B6.
company on on the cookies are $20. Then the large, so it allows us to know it allows us to know the range of values. For example, the highest number of money spent or the highest number of revenue made. And aside that, it allows us to know the second highest as well. So in a more practical scenario, you can use the large function to know the students that performed the highest in the class, as well as the students next to him. So the students that was able to get the second position in the class. So and how we're going to achieve that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert large, right? And then I'm going to my array. I'm going to click on this, this, and this as well. Then I'm going to then my k. I want the value of 2. Okay, okay, that was a mistake. So okay. Sorry, just large. Then I want the second highest, right? So the second highest is $16, and you can do it sideways as well. And we can, post large, and I want this, right? I want the second highest. Second highest is $30, and you can, get the third highest as well, which is the $20, and you can also get the highest as well, which is the $40. And you can also do it using the FX method as well. Click on the FX, right? You remove all this particular brief and you write large and you click on go and click on OK. Then it's going to bring out then your array basically, then your particular scenario you want the largest, and you can also take note of our array b2 to b4 and click on OK as well. Then move on to the round function. And what does round? Okay. Do you have any questions so far? Is there anything you do not understand before we move on to the round function? Okay. Okay. So round function. We have three types of round function basically. We have the round up function, and we have the round down function in Excel.
No, I'm following you.
Now, round up
I'm just
function
taking notes of
basically
stuff that I'm gonna
rounds
reference
up
and look back at later. Just
a
key
number
notes.
closer to 1, and round down basically rounds
Following
down
me though.
a number closer to 0. Okay. So to begin with an example, I'm going to give us a particular sample. So okay, let me write it here basically some examples. So let's say we have it's 7.2. Okay, sorry, 7.2. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter actually. It's 9.8. Let's say we have 125.678. All right, and we want to use the round up and round down function in Excel. So it's 7.2. Okay, no. Let me make it. Have more decimal place. Let's say 257. Yes. Okay. Okay. This is we cannot use this particular cell because it has been formatted. I formatted it so two decimal place automatically. So it rounds it up. So I don't want to use this particular colon. So let me delete and then move to a colon that has not been touched. Okay. So let's say it's 7.256. 91, it's 9.23. Okay, I'm gonna use this one as well. So the settings that we need. It's 9.23. 127. Okay, sorry, 125.678. Right, and then we want to determine the effect of round up and round down function. And I said earlier that the round up function basically rounds up a number away to 0, as we said, round up, while the round down basically rounds up a number uh, towards 0, like closer to 0. So to use the round up function, I'm going to use round up here, round down here, so you can see the difference. So equals to round up. Okay, coming. Okay, yeah. So equals to round up, right? And then brackets, and then the number of digits that we want. So basically, the number of decimal places, I want it in a one decimal place, right? And then click on OK. So as you can see that even though according to the log approximation that the number 2 is lesser than 5 and letter 3 is lesser than 5 as well, number 3 is lesser than 5, is basically automatically rounds it up to 1, making this is 9.3, which is not supposed to be so according to the law. But random function, that's what random function does basically. It doesn't care about the approximation rule. What it does is any number that is, as long as you're trying to round up a particular number to a certain amount of decimal places, is going to round the number up closer to 1. While the round down basically rounds it to closer to 0. So, so as you can see, that is it's 9.2. This is it's 9.3. So I'm going to write a round up function, and I'm going to write round down function. So you can um see the difference. If you round it up, you're going to get it 9.3. So that is what I was saying earlier, that rounding up does not care about the approximation rule. I don't even understand what I'm trying to say. It's 9.23 on your norm. It's going to be 9.2 when you round it, when you're trying to round
Yeah,
up to
if
one
you round
decimal
up
place. But because you're rounding up,
89.23,
rounding up
you're not gonna get
function in Excel
89.3.
does not care about the approximation rule. So by default, it's going to make it 9.23 to be 89.3, and also going to make 84.21 to be 84.3. It does not care about the approximation rule. Yeah, exactly. Irrespective of whether you're getting irrespective of whether the number is greater than 5 or lesser than 5, it doesn't care. That doesn't care. All right.
Mm.
So move on to the second example,
So by default, it's just gonna round to the next number.
which is basically 125.678. Although we might most likely get the same value for these two. Well, okay, round up. Sorry. Uh, start equal to sign, round up, right, and then the number, right. We want to decimal place this time around, so it's going to be 125.68, and then we want a round down, right, and then this um to decimal place as well. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Round down. 125.67. Like I said, as this particular roundup does not, depend on the approximation rule, that even if the number is lesser than 5, it's going to round it up to 1 and add it to the next figure. Same goes for the rounding down. In as much as 8 is greater than 1, it's going to round it up to 0, right? So it does not really care about whether or not the approximation works or it does not work. So as you can see, there are three decimal places here, right? Now it has been changed to two decimal places, whereby this 8 has been rounded down to 0. All right. I believe we've covered majority of the mathematical functions. Okay. Let me try to redo my screen so I can see. Uh, oh, can see the whole
Mhm.
thing has been covered. Okay, I've not talked about the round function as well. I said earlier there are three types of round function: the round up, the round down, and the normal round. So, if you want a particular rounding up function that obeys the mathematical rule, you are going to use the normal round function, and you're going to it works this way. Okay, let me go here. Equals to round, right? And then you click on particular number that you want to round and the number of digits. So as you can see, it is on um, 125.68. As you can see, the 7 has been rounded up to 8, and you can do the same for this particular scenario. First round, we click on this, and we want one decimal place, so it's 9.2. So by now, I believe we understood the difference between the three round function, and we are done with mathematical function for now. I hope it's helpful. Now, I'm most likely going to ask some questions. So make sure I don't just for my own sanity and to make sure that we understand everything that has been taught so far. The sum function. How do you understand it to your own view? Okay, that is actually right. That's correct. But the sum function does not include the subtraction. The sum function is only the addition. Subtraction is a different thing on its own. Okay, yeah. So
Mhm.
that is just the only thing that needs to be corrected. What about the average? The average function.
The sum function is either the addition or subtraction of a column or a row. That's how I'm gonna add.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That is actually right and very correct. What about the filling the autofills? We have the filling down, the fill right, the fill up, and the fill left as well.
Okay.
Is there a way you can explain those four to your own understanding?
It takes the average amount within the row or column.
Okay, yeah, exactly, exactly, and it saves time as well, and it is even well preferred as compared to the other um, as prepared as sorry let me rephrase it, it is
The
preferred
autofill is gonna take
as compared to typing the whole formulas
the
of functions
formula
manually
that
because it
was
shows your
put in the
professionalism
first
and it
cell
even saves
and
time
carry out
basically because
throughout
assuming you're
whatever
working on a large
arrangement of
number of
cells that you want to
data
carry
sets,
through the rows
it's
or columns.
it's basically allows you to save much time, and you can also helps you to work on other scenarios as well. All right. What about the count function? The count function in Excel is not in me actually. Yeah, I skipped it. Yeah, I'll do it. So skip that part, and I'm going to. What about the okay, okay. Do you understand the mode function in Excel? Okay, exactly. What about the large function? I think I talked more about it. Yes, largest amount, but can also be used to know the relative position of each particular values in a cell. So, like I said, allows you to know, for example, the largest amount, yes, the second largest amount, and even the third largest amount, like we
Yeah, the
did
mode
in this
is
particular
the
scenario.
number that shows up the most.
These are the arrays, basically your columns that you want to check for, bit 2 to date 2,
Yeah,
and this one
the
represents the
largest
largest
amount.
amount. 2 is going to represent the second largest amount, and so on and so forth. So 3 is going to represent the third largest amount, and that is how it goes. We have the count function, and we have the okay, yeah, count blank, basically count blank,
Mm.
yeah, count blank function. Okay, yeah, the count function basically counts the total number of particular entity. For example, total number of cookies. So to do that, you can just write equals to counts, right? And this, and this. We have 3 cookies so far, and then okay, sorry, and that is not supposed to happen. Let me check. B1, C1, and T1. Actually, because I've already changed it to, I've already changed the whole colon to currency, so that is why, and that's why you could see it returns the value of $0. Okay, okay, yeah, we can prevent that as well. So we can click on format cells. So that particular scenario is going to be, let's put it, no.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry. I might have to do it individually as well. This plus uh, yeah, okay, yeah, I think I know this, where the issue is coming from. Count function does not work on letters, it only works on numbers. Yeah, so yeah, that is actually true. I can't believe I made that mistake. Count function is a mathematical function and it only works on numbers. So to use the count function to count the total number of cookies, we'll use the comment. Use the count if function, and let me see. So then equals to count uh range. Tier 3 is basically writing $3 because their string for the formatting was basically formatting it to dollars. So I'm going to rechange it to a text file. And besides, the colon which I was writing it on was for has already been formatted to use dollars and convert everything to a currency. So okay, yeah, as you can see. Do you understand what I just did? So I okay, yeah, exactly. And did you know why it was giving me $3 initially instead of giving me a normal number like 3. Yeah, exactly. So now, okay, I'm going to work on the count blank function. So
Yeah.
count blank function basically allows us to count the
You
total
just
number of
count
blank
it count just
observations or
counts
blank
how many
cases in
items that you
a
have in the
cell.
cell that you selected
And
in
what
the
do we mean by
cell,
blank? Blank
like
cases
in the
are,
array.
for example, blocks. Sometimes called blocks or cell. For example, this is a block, and sometimes it can also be called cell. This is another block or a
Yeah, didn't you
cell.
preset
This is a
the
block,
column
sometimes
to
called a cell.
either dollar
This
or
is another
not?
block, sometimes called a cell, right? It counts the total number of blank cells in this set of colon, and they are sometimes called missing values. So I'm going to explain later, but let me first show you how it's done. Count blank is equals to count blank, then your range, and then you know, and then click on OK. But okay, let me remove this. I'm not supposed to be using this cell anymore, this particular column anymore. Uh, sorry, this should be the count function, right? And this should be the count blank function. So you can see the function. Alright, so that is all on mathematical function and data entry. Or do you feel we need to do more examples on formulas and on mathematical function before we move to the other functions? Your opinion? Okay, alright. Then I'm going to be talking about logical functions in Excel. So before I move on to logical functions, I'm going to move on text functions in Excel. Yeah, text functions. Let me widen my
Uh,
workbook, my worksheet, sorry.
I think I pretty much got
Yeah.
the concept. I
Okay,
think we can
text
move on to the
functions.
next
Now,
function.
what are text functions basically? So, text functions
Yeah, we can move
are
on.
functions that have to do with string, and they are basically used for data cleaning and data organization. Like I said in the pre-introduction video, that Excel is also used for data cleaning and data organization, and that is where text functions comes into play. We have various types of text function. We have
Text
the
functions.
concatenate function, we have the left function, we have the right function, we have the trim function, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be working on 10 examples of text functions, and I'm going to be listing them here right now. So we have the upper, lower, prosper. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to be using another sample data set, a demo data set actually. Okay. Permit me while I stop this the screen recording that I'm doing, so I can create a